Come in.
May I come in, sir?
Come in. Mr. Siddhartha Singh.
Yes.
Yes. Good morning. बैठिए. So you studied in the Guru Nanak College
Yes, sir.
and you studied history.
Yes, sir.
Why did you choose history? You like history?
So there were two reasons. One is of course that I love history, and the second was that I wanted to choose it as an optional for UPSC, sir.
Okay, so you had already decided that you will sit for civil services.
Yes, so when a guy from Bihar comes to Delhi, it is usually for civil services.
Why? A lot of people used to come to Bihar once upon a time when Nalanda University was there. Now everybody moves out of Bihar. So you think Bihar somewhere down the line has lost its greatness? Hmm? It has, or it will regain its greatness.
So the grandeur has been lost. The people are still great, but I do feel that in education, for example, Vikramshila or Nalanda, that is the caliber that we currently don't have. Hopefully, sir, in the coming times, it will be better, sir.
So tell me something about the connection which Sikhism has with Bihar.
So the most obvious connection is that the last guru, the last human guru, Guru Gobind Singh, was born in Patna, sir.
Mm-hmm. And
And so also, sir, the Sikh diaspora, Sikh population that we have in Patna, it is very vibrant. And for example, recently the Prakash Utsav was also held, sir, 350th Prakash Utsav. So these are the links that we have.
when was the 350th Prakash Utsav celebrated?
Sir, if I remember correctly, it was in 2021, sir, but I'm not very sure.
Okay. So tell me something about the teachings of Guru Nanak Ji.
So Guru Nanak Dev was the founder of Sikhism, and he argued basically that there is Ek Omkar, which idea argues that there is one God who has created us all, and there should not be any distinction or barriers based on caste or religion, even gender. Sir. So he traveled extensively. Because of that, he was able to gain diverse perspectives. And so the religion that he propounded had many social reformist perspectives, be it in terms of caste or religion, or even in terms of discrimination that we used to have.
And he underlined the need for service. So, how is that element of service which he emphasized even today found in the Sikh religion? How do you find that in a Gurdwara?
Yes, sir. So Seva was one of the principal tenets of Guru Nanak Dev teaching, because he argued that service to humanity is actually a service to God. Sir. In that context, that teaching was propounded and extended by every subsequent Guru, sir. Even in the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the living Guru of Sikhs, sir, we do have ideas of care and devotion for other people, and that is witnessed in terms of any calamity. For example, that we witness, be it the COVID-19 pandemics or even earthquakes or anything, the Sikhs are always there. That is a very positive thing, and I think other religions can also incorporate that.
There were two gurus who had problems or who actually were killed by the Mughal kings of those days. Can you name those two gurus?
Sir, while I am sure that Guru Tegh Bahadur was murdered by Aurangzeb's Mughal Empire, but the other Guru, I'm not very sure. It might be his father, sir, but I don't recall his name.
No, it was Guru Arjan Dev.
Okay, sorry, sir, I don't recall.
Are you aware of a guru called Guru Arjun?
Yes, sir. I think he was the sixth Guru, sir.
Yes, you are right. He's the sixth guru, and he was the one who was, at that time, Jahangir was the king. Why did Guru Tegh Bahadur fight against the Mughals? What was the problem?
So the Sikhs at that time had their aspirations for regional autonomy also. At the same time, the petitions that had been coming from the Kashmiri Pandits for safeguarding the Hindu and other dharmic religions, that was the primary thing. And Guru Tegh Bahadur was called to Aurangzeb to portray or show his magical powers. And again, sir, because he refused to convert, he was.
I think you hit the nail. Very good. So there was some connection with Kashmir. Now, subsequently, what happened was that Ranjit Singh, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, gains control of Kashmir. And then he appoints somebody there as his chief. Who's that person he appoints? And thereafter, what is the history of Kashmir?
Sir, I don't recall the name of the person, but sir, regarding the history, after the decline of the Sikh Empire, after the death of Sri Ranjit Singh, sir, after that the East India Company gained power over the Sikh dominion, sir, and in that regard they auctioned the rulership of Kashmir to the Dogra kings, sir, and then they continued their power, and with whom, sir, in 1947 we had the merger agreement, sir.
Okay, just as a point of addition, the same kings were the chiefs, and it was the same kings who switched over to the British side by paying the money. So they were both with the Sikhs and also with the British subsequently. So that is the point. Anyway, now with regard to the Mauryan history, since it relates to Bihar, uh, I think the Mauryan Empire has given something to Indian history which is unique. It was the first time that India faced a conqueror like Alexander. And I think it was the strength of the Magadhan Empire which sent Alexander back. In any case, after Alexander, the Magadhan Empire established itself as a great empire all over India. They were also able to take control of the Greek dominions in the northwestern part of India. Now, who was the ruler who was left behind by Alexander in the northwestern part of India, and how did Chandragupta Maurya overcome him?
So the ruler was Seleucus Nicator. He was appointed as Kshatrapsa by the Greeks. And Chandragupta Maurya basically fought a war with him. And sir, many historians argue that Chandragupta had won the war. And the Greek sources point out that 500 elephants were exchanged by Chandragupta, and in return he married the daughter of Seleucus Nicator, sir.
So that was the value of one daughter of the king. 500 elephants, was that the value?
No, sir. I don't agree that it was the value for it. The primary thing was establishing the diplomatic as well as cultural relations between the two, sir. And because Magadha Empire was very prominent in terms of the elephant warfare, so he gifted it basically.
And thereafter, Chandragupta Maurya, before his death, he came to a place near Mysore, and as a follower of the Jain religion, he starved himself to death. And number of people came with him, and they are even now settled in Karnataka. Can you tell me where in Karnataka they are settled?
So the precise reason is Shravan Belgola, if I remember correctly. And the Jain community there is very prominent. Also, Samadhi of Chandragupta is there. And regarding the Digambar and Shwetambar division that we have in Jainism, it is also traced to that specific migration, sir.
So, Siddhartha, what is the significance of your name?
So my name refers to, it means someone who has accomplished their goals, sir. And the reason why I was,
Is it Siddharth or Siddhartha?
sir, it is Siddhartha. In Sanskrit, the tha is full a, sir, with it is pronounced as Siddhartha. So by that, when it is written in English, it is the A is
You
added.
write A.
Yes.
Ram or Rama, people write. Do you think they are correct? Both correct?
So the correct pronunciation is Rama. And when we say Rama, the ma must be incomplete, sir. And there the A is used often. So I feel Rama is the correct pronunciation, but we should be saying it Rama.
We go to your Motihari. What is the historic importance of Motihari? Anything associated with Motihari you can recall?
So the most immediate was the Champaran Satyagraha because Mahatma Gandhi started it from there, sir. So it was against the indigo cultivation, the forced plantations that were occurring, sir. Along with that, the other historical significance was that it was the birthplace of George Orwell, sir. So that is also.
Okay. What is the contribution of George Orwell? Do you otherwise read books? Have you read how many books of George Orwell you have read?
Sir, I have read two of his books, 1984 and Animal Farm.
Okay. So in 1984, what he talks about, the time has come. In fact, whatever he is portraying there, do you think there is a similarity now?
Sir, though there is some similarity in terms of the surveillance state and the policing by the state apparatus, sir, but still I feel that the time has not yet come, and thankfully, sir, I feel that as long as citizens continue to remain vigilant, we will be spared that horrible situation.
But like he mentioned that everything is known to the government or everybody. So today everything, whatever I write, whatever I do is visible to everybody. So why do you say there is a difference?
Yes, sir. Sir, indeed, the government currently has a vast data power over the citizens of the nation, sir, all over the world, sir. But again, sir, what Orwell failed to foresee was that technology is a two-edged sword, sir. It is not just the government that is using the technology.
And Animal Farm was regarding?
Sir, it was also regarding the failure of collectivism, for example, and the ideals that often get trampled upon by the ruling class in the pursuit of their own powers.
Okay. Your interest is running.
Yes, sir.
What kind of running?
So usually I run 2 kilometers every day because sir, running is an intense.
You must be, that is a part of your exercise.
Yes, sir, that is a part of my exercise, and it keeps me calm, sir, often from the frustration that can sometimes arise.
So, what is the difference between running and jogging and walking?
Sir, all three are activities of the limb, and they all involve.
How they are different?
Yes, sir. So differences are that walking is more leisurely, sir, it is slow. Jogging is to a greater speed, but again, sir, it is very slow. The intensity of the heartbeats, for example, is very slow compared to when we are running. So when we are running, for example, it is not possible for us to talk much, sir. But while jogging, it is very much possible to have conversations with our
So, there are walking also, very fast walking, almost at running. So, how do you differentiate these two? Why we'll say is walking, not running, but both are equally going with the same speed.
Sir, at however fast we may try to walk, we will still not be able to travel at the speed that we would be while we are running, sir. While we are running, the heartbeat is very fast. It is an intense cardiovascular activity, sir. It also burns the
What
fats.
about the heel?
What about, sir?
The heel, when you move, when how do we define walking? Heel is on the ground. Heel.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Okay.
So,
You do discussion with people.
yes, sir.
What is that interest?
Sir, actually, I feel that we all live only one life, sir. And to make us live a more enriching life, and more
What kind
enriching,
of issues you discuss with people?
sir, anything and everything, sir. For example, whenever I meet,
At random or with friends, or do you have a close cir- close net people where you discuss some issues? Some example you give me.
sir, I do have friends with whom I discuss. Also, sir, randomly also I can discuss. A recent example that I remember is my discussion with one of my seniors, Shashwat Bhaiya, with whom I was discussing on artificial intelligence, sir, because his brother is serving in the USA in the tech field, sir.
Okay, thank you. Please.
Yes, sir.
What is the basic philosophy of Ram Rajya? What does it say?
So, as highlighted by even Valmiki himself, the primary idea behind Ram Raj was that even a washerman or a lowly dhobi, for example, is able to question the king himself, sir. So that degree of accountability to the king must be answerable to the people, sir. That leads to a certain social equality and inclusion, sir. That is the primary tenet of Ram Raj.
And equality, welfare.
Yes, sir. Welfare of all, again, sir, definitely. And yes, sir. And obviously by ensuring the accountability of the state, sir, by every citizen, sir. That is very important.
What is the modern form of Gandhi's trusteeship philosophy?
So trusteeship was Gandhi's alternative to the extremes of capitalism and communism, sir. By trusteeship, Gandhi argued that we do not actually need to abolish the
But
private.
what is existing form of such philosophy in our corporate sector?
So, for example, the corporate social responsibility is one of the tenets.
That is true. Tell me something about lessons of the history the mankind have learned.
So, history is basically a repository of past human experiences, sir, and we are indeed trying to learn any of the problems that we are currently facing. For example, the Gaza situation or in Ukraine, sir. These are all situations that we are facing because of a misunderstanding of history. Again, sir, for example, the affirmative actions policies that we have in India, sir, they are primarily because of historical justice, sir. The problems that we historically face, we are trying to sort that out. Again, the issue of communalism also in India that can be traced to past, sir. So I feel a better understanding of history can lead to amelioration of our current situation.
Okay. History says that we have failed to encounter the external invaders, and from 1000 AB onward, everybody have ruled us. Mughals, Afghan, Baburs, and all those Khiljid, all are different dynasties, and then Angrez. Why we could not resist properly,
So,
fiercely?
yes, sir. So the primary reason, according to me, was our fragmented polity, sir, because we were not a united, sir. So a united opposition was not given to the invaders. That, and again, sir, we have indeed learned the lesson, sir. Today, the Indian state is very united. We are focusing on our internal security to a great extent, sir.
What is your ultimate objective of becoming an IAS officer to serve the people? What would be your priority?
Sir, I feel that the IAS is a very diverse profile, sir, job profile, where I'll be able to serve in all various capacities, be it in terms of policy making or implementation at the ground level also. I feel that would be a full utilization of my potential. Again, sir, the primary arena that I feel very greatly about is the education of children, sir. I feel, for example, as a district magistrate, I can better collaborate the education apparatus in the district, sir.
Thank you.
You said somewhere when you were when you were replying to a question, you said, we live only one life. Do you think we live only one life, or do you believe in the theory of karma, law of karma?
So personally, I do not believe in karma. I believe that this is the one life that we have. But again, that is my personal opinion, sir.
So that means we can live life the way we want. Why should we be ethical?
Sir, I feel that being ethical is a reward in itself, sir. The feeling, the conscience that our feels good. For example, while doing good, when we sleep at night, it is very peaceful.
No, I don't. I don't agree with you on that. If you think that we all live only one life, then nobody would be moral. Nobody would be ethical, because they would say, "Well, I am not answerable to anybody because there is no punishment in case I do something wrong. So let me enjoy life on this world as much as I want. So let me be as immoral as possible. Let me acquire wealth. Let me enjoy. Why should I be good? The mind will overtake the soul."
Yes, sir. So while I agree that that is indeed a possibility, but I humbly disagree with your opinion, sir. What I actually feel, sir, is that first we have the state apparatus for ensuring morality. Also, sir, often the precise argument that we are
You mean
using,
the state is so powerful it can ensure and enforce morality?
sir, it is able to a great extent. But again, sir,
Is the state moral first of all?
so we are trying to make envision a more moral state. Indian state definitely, as envisioned by the constitution, is very moral, sir. Also, sir, regarding morality, one thing that I definitely feel is that, sir, all human beings have the necessity, for example, to feel secure, and we have this tendency to work for our own security. And we do understand that if my neighbor is also getting traumatized by me, they will also traumatize me, sir. The golden rule actually works in terms of
So
even if
you
we
think
have.
it is just a question of revenge or retaliation? That is what keeps people moral. I think there are people who are physically stronger. There are people who are historically stronger because they have better wealth, or the people who are intellectually stronger. You think these people cannot misuse their powers?
Sir, indeed, they misuse their power, sir. But again, sir, often we see, for example, even while believing in karma, they misuse that. For example, the caste system today.
So that negates the law of karma.
Sir,
Okay, let me come to the last point, because we're coming to the close of the interview. You talked about some historical justices, historical injustice. You think historical injustice should be corrected by punishing people who belong to that category and who are available on earth today?
Sir, because, for example, any idea of development or any progress of any individual from a community, it does not take place in isolation, sir. The family privileges are always there, sir. So, because the people, for example, from
So
the,
take away all the family privileges and put people on the same level.
sir, in an ideal world, I do agree that a better provision for education, for example, of all people, or certain level of income security for all people will be a more credible alternative. But the world that we live in currently, sir, it does require inclusion, sir, greater diversity. And for that, I feel affirmative action, for all its faults, sir, still it is very plausible, sir.
Do you believe in live-in relationships?
Yes, sir, I think it should be a part of our fundamental
Should
right.
be permitted and should not be discouraged in India?
Yes, sir, I see no reason why it should be discouraged.
Well, anybody can then pair with anybody, and there will be no responsibility towards children and family.
Sir, I feel that it is a part of human liberty for people to form any sort of intimate connections as long as they are not hurting anybody else, sir. Regarding
They're
the,
hurting the children who come out of the wedlock or
yes, sir.
whatever the living in relationship.
Sir, for that regard, I feel that every opportunity must be provided to the child and they should be considered legitimate, as the Supreme Court has also
No,
pointed
no,
out
they
in
will be
many cases.
considered legitimate. Who will take care of them? Who will spend money on them? Who will educate them? Who will bring them up?
So by that, we can definitely have a law for that, tracing the Western model of democracy, for example, where the fathers and the mother also in a living relationship, they are responsible for the children. So that can also be incorporated.
Societally speaking, you think Western societies are more stable or Indian society is more stable?
Sir, I think any strict dichotomy cannot be envisioned in this specific case, sir. Both Indian society as well as Western society have their positives, sir. And we need to incorporate the good points of both the society.
What does Swami Vivekananda then talk about India being the spiritual leader of the world? You say, well, everybody is right in some way or the other, so anybody can lead anybody in the world. But Swami Vivekananda, more than 125 years, said India is the spiritual leader of the world. What does he mean by that then?
So by that, Swami Vivekananda was arguing that the West is currently suffering from a moral bankruptcy, sir, and also the wars that were happening, the destruction, wide scale.
So you are saying we should also get into that moral bankruptcy.
So that is what I am coming at actually. That's in the last 100 years, especially after the death of Swami Vivekananda, for example, the West today is much more stable. It is much more secure, much more prosperous than it used to be, sir. So I feel that, for example, the wars and all these things, while they do exist even today, but the East is also suffering from them. So I feel the sort of the democracy that they have established, the liberty and fraternity that is visible there, that is something that should be universally acknowledged, sir. Again, sir, there are some aspects of Indian civilization, for example, respect for tolerance and diversity, sir, that the West can also learn.
So they should also imbibe. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure interviewing you. Please wait. God. आइए, come. You are Mr. Siddhartha. Yeah, come, sit down. अब आराम से बैठिए. This is not an interview. We'll take 5 minutes with you. When is your interview?
It is on 5th March, sir.
Okay, we got very little time. Okay, a week left. Firstly, hair is not properly combed. वो बाद
I'm
में.
going to get a haircut, sir.
You get a haircut, but have it properly combed. If necessary, you apply gel or oil. It should look, you should look groomed, well groomed. जैसे सूट है, टाई है, तो हेयर भी अच्छा होना चाहिए. स्पेक्स में सीधा होना चाहिए. स्पेक्स थोड़ा टिल्टेड है, आप देख लीजिएगा जरा.
फोटो में भी आपका थोड़ा ठीक नहीं है, which you have.
वो जरा देख लीजिए क्या प्रॉब्लम है.
Shaving is must.
Yes, sir, I'll get a
That
shave.
is fine. Otherwise, I think among all the candidates I've interviewed so far, you're the sharpest. You're the most, you're the quickest, and you were very thorough on certain points, and you were very quick on that. Like Guru Nanak, Guru Tegh Bahadur, Kashmiri Pandits, all that was fantastic. I actually enjoyed that part of the interview. But to tell you, subsequently, I got a little disillusioned because of your negation of certain things which are Indian, which may not be appreciated. The law of karma is from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so now it is too late for you to be saying that Bhagavad Gita is hollow, right? Number one, because you are not, there's so many people before you who have come and gone. Secondly, the Bhagavad Gita is acknowledged as the spiritual text of the Hindus. Okay, after that has come Adi Shankara, after that has come Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi. All of them have spoken about the Bhagavad Gita. Lokmanya Tilak, Aurobindo Ghosh, so many intelligent, brilliant people, far more brilliant than all of us. They have all spoken about Bhagavad. Now to say that Bhagavad Gita is hollow will not resonate with people. Almost you are coming to that saying law of karma doesn't exist. We live only one life. That is typically an Abrahamic theory. It's what Christians and Muslims believe in. Indians don't believe in that. Okay, Indians means I'm talking to Hindus. Now, while Christians and Muslims are entitled to their views, I'm not saying, but don't you think, since you are a logical person, that the Hindu concept is far more logical than the Abrahamic concept of one life?
So, while I do agree that the bigger conception that we have in Hinduism, that is definitely more vast, more diverse, sir. But regarding karma, the basic problem that I have with this idea is that the caste system, sir, because see, sir, it was
Karma and caste system are different.
So may I point it out?
Yeah, yeah.
So
This is not an interview
yes,
now.
So actually, what I felt, especially while a reading of history, sir, often, sir, for example, karma says that you will feel bad. For example, bad things will happen to you if you do bad, sir. So, for example, if people who are born in low caste today, sir, often they are told that you are born in the low caste because you did something bad in your earlier life, sir. Again, sir, this reinforces the caste system. So I feel, sir, that while indeed karma has some positives, it can keep people in line, sir. But the bigger
I have
ramifications.
understood the point. Because we don't want to waste time, I'll tell you what has you have done. Can you control your birth?
No, sir.
Then to give a concept for it is, in what way is it wrong? We are only giving a concept to your birth. We are not giving a concept to your life.
Yes, sir. Indeed it is. But again, sir, the fact that it legitimizes the operation sometimes, sir,
It
because
legitimizes the law of nature that you are born in a certain way.
so again, sir, but I continue to have that difference in opinions.
Yeah, but don't have it with the board. In
Okay,
case this question.
Sir, I'll cut it out, sir. I'll not
No,
mention
don't
that.
debate and dispute, because this is not a religious debate or a spiritual debate or a historical debate. caste system, while you may, I don't know which caste you belong to, and I don't bother. As long as I am concerned, see, non-believing in caste is one thing. You can get married to a person of another caste, that's your choice.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but to say that something is wrong in Hinduism because of the law of karma, I think you are being illogical. That's how people will feel. Okay, so I would second, live-in relationships again is a very dangerous point to make. That should be encouraged and should be not discouraged. While we should discourage, see, our marriage as an institution has stood the test of time for centuries. There are good and bad points about it. I don't say no. Then you're saying the state will take care of everything. State, you can see how much the state is capable of doing. What is your Bihar state capable of doing? Nothing. I mean, it has not done anything for your own state for so many years now. So if they take care of every child that is born out of wedlock, it's not possible. So there are certain unrealistic solutions which you have given. वो थोड़ा सा आपको rein in करना पड़ेगा. Yeah.
So regarding that, I said the parents of the child, so they should be responsible. That is.
No, there are no parents. No, उसके जब there is no commitment to each other in a marriage, you commit to the other person for a long, lasting life. Now here you have no commitment to each other. We go our ways. Then where is the commitment to the child?
Yes, sir.
The
Indeed, there is a problem.
The next child will become more important. He will have a child through another woman, and she will have another child through another man, and that will become more important. So it will never be possible. It's never stable. Okay. Second, Gandhi. You use word Gandhi as if Gandhi is your neighbor. Gandhi is Gandhi ji. He may say Gandhi, but you cannot say Gandhi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because he is in the interviewing board. Okay, he may just provoke you by saying Gandhi. Either you would say Mahatma Gandhi or you would say Gandhi ji. Okay, so you have to be careful in the way you use some terms. I think your knowledge of history is fantastic. Knowledge of Bihar is very good. But I think there are
Sir,
certain
I'll tone down in these things.
angularities have to be kept under check.
Okay.
Siddharth, this question should be well prepared because discussion with people, what you want to say, why you have written it here, or running, because there was a basic difference between running and walking. Because
So what was the difference, sir?
I told you also that heel you keep down during running, during walking. Running, heel is up. That's the main difference. That's how you differentiate. There is a fast walking also. There's a competition. So there you have to keep every time heel has to be on the foot, on the ground. Look at others also. When you are concentrating on the person you are answering, try to just glance, don't very long. But thirdly, what you said, na, you should have, you are entitled to your own opinions, but you should not display it very strongly in the sense you say, however, I disagree. You don't have to say disagree. You say that, however, I think it is this, but don't say the word disagree. You even on caste system, I don't know from you have interfered that this caste system is because karma is that. I don't know where it was written. So you get that born in that caste or something. It's not implied that way. You
Yes, sir.
are born in a poor family, maybe because of karma, not because of the caste. Because caste was not confined to. You could change the caste if somebody is knowledgeable. He becomes pandit. So that is the concept of caste. So avoid these confrontations. That is my advice to you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So far, we have interviewed the candidates. You are one of the best candidates. But avoid strong words.
Yes, sir.
If you have your own personal opinion, but looking to the sense of the board, you have to modify little more.
Okay.
And some hand movement rakna. You just, no. You have to do some hand movement. It will be taken as that you are not mechanical, and you are also, withdrawing syndrome दिखता है इसमें, या इसमें आपको थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स दिखता है. So it is a natural way of talking. बराबर है. बाकी everything is good dressing, ये shaving, haircut, ये सब जरूरी है. Strong words थोड़ा
I would have put you more than 200.
tone down कर देना.
200 if you had not used those 2-3 things, you know, you have got more than 200.
Okay, sir. Sir, definitely I'll work on that.
You're a very good candidate, but
If you use strong word, then it will lead to another controversial questions by the board, and that would trap you.
No older person will ever agree to your point of view. Understand? An interviewing board is always superior to you. Number 2.
They are quite mature,
Number
experienced.
3, in civil service, your boss will always boss over you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've been in civil service for more than 38 years. I can tell you, having been an IAS officer in my home state, there was never a time when I could have freedom. There's never a time. There is always a boss over you. Even if you become chief secretary, CM will boss over you. You become a DM, the chief secretary will boss over you. So you can never strongly disagree on anything. Finally, you will be forced to obey your boss, as long as it is legally correct. If it is ethically incorrect, you can say, I don't want to do it, you can walk off. That much you can do, that's all. But you can't fight with him. You fight with your boss, you will be humiliated. समझ रहे हैं?
Yes.
So this concept will be there in the interviewing board. So they are judging your suitability for a service. They are not judging you as an intelligent person or not. So your intelligence may be there, but your suitability for the service will not be accepted. You understand? So disagreeing, fighting, debating, etc. is all right in an intellectual argument, but not before the board. And you have to go along with the, while you can have a viewpoint, while you can be definitely sympathetic to people who are not so well to do, underprivileged, caste, people who belong to the downtrodden castes, who belong to scheduled castes, or those who are economically poor, those who are not well educated. But you have to do things to uplift them. It is not for correcting some injustice which your ancestor has done. Now they will do injustice to you. So that revengeful feeling can never happen.
Yes, sir.
Just because you did something to his ancestor, your ancestor did something. Now his grandson will come and kill you. Is that acceptable? It's not. So वो भी है. Or institutions of, don't think that West we can teach the West on social matters, on social points. West is teaching us something about politics, something about economics, maximum. Culturally and socially, we are far superior to the West. Our civilization has lasted more than thousands of years. Their civilization is hardly a few hundred years old, isn't it? So don't think the West is superior everywhere. I mean, like they have got points to teach us on society, social manners. I don't think so. I don't think so. So this would be a very strong point of disagreement, and you could, get into a debate.
Okay, sir. I'll try to keep these things out of the. Okay, sir.
Anything you would like to ask?
anything else you want to ask us?
Because I think we are a very, very bright candidate. You have a very good chance.
So regarding my speaking speed, was it very fast or was it okay?
No, it is okay.
That is okay.
We found it was okay.
Okay, because that is a feedback that I have been getting that I speak.
थोड़ा कम करोगे तो अच्छा ज़्यादा रहेगा.
But don't become conscious of that.
Yeah, it is just in 7 days I'm having the interview. sir.
No, you cannot change in 5 days, 10 days, 15 days.
ये मजा आता है उसमें तो.
Leave it.
Smiling face रखना थोड़ा. That would add some innocence into your personality.
Your appearance, because opted for foreign service also, and since if there is a foreign service officer who chairs the board, his expectation, or there's an army officer also, if they chair the board, then expectations will be slightly higher. IAS, IPS people know, because we all know how we, dress up when we go to office. But IFS army में थोड़ा सा उसमें ज़्यादा ध्यान देते हैं. So that is why.
Right now, what are you doing? Studying or doing some job?
No, sir. I'm just 22 years old, sir. This is my first attempt, so I'm not doing anything.
Be thankful to God that you got through the first attempt. It's very good. And with history, you studied history, you written history. Your knowledge of history is good. Tell me just to check your presence of mind, why is Urdu written from right to left and why is Devanagari written from left to right?
So the primary reason is that the Urdu script is inspired by the Arabic script, sir, and
So why is Arabic written right to left?
so that I'm not aware of.
If you are able to give an answer like that, you will get very good marks.
What is the reason, sir?
The reason is it was originally written on rock cut inscriptions. And when you are chiseling on rock, your hand will move from right to left. Because if you move from left to right, you will hide the letters.
Okay.
You understand? When you write, you can write on a leaf, left to right. That is the reason why all the Persian, Arabic, Aramaic scripts are all from right to left. Originally written on clay tablets and on rock. Whereas Indian scripts were always written on leaves.
So, but Prakrit were written by Mauryan emperor's inscriptions, sir.
That was much later. That was much, 1,000 years after language came in. By that time, language had already, like you, even if you want to write, even if you, let's say, are chiseling on a rock today in English, will you write from right to left? You won't. You will do it from left to right. Because you're used to writing English left to right. But when language script was invented first time, that was around 1300 to 1500 BC. That was the time when script was invented. At that time, it is said that our texts were all written on leaves.
Okay.
Whereas there, of course, you have seen the Rosetta Stone. You must have heard about the Rosetta Stone. That was supposed to have been earlier. Whenever it happened, I mean, I'm not saying 1300, 1500 is just a date given by our historians. I also feel that script came even before that. But Rosetta Stone was written around 2800 BC, is what I'm told, 3000 BC. It's written on stone, and it's again from right to left.
Okay, so the rock inscriptions are written from right to left. Okay.
And the leaf, whatever was written on leaf, was written from left to right. That's how it started.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So knowledge is a very vast field, and nobody can have total claim on it. So nobody in the interviewing board is going to find fault if you don't know X, Y, Z. Okay. But what they will find fault is when your attitude, your personality, your temperament, it does not match with theirs. तो उस पर थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना आपको.
Yes, sir.
Your father is the constable, so they might ask you about police service, about crime, about women's safety, women's issues. थोड़ा सा communistic tendencies आप छोड़ दीजिए. अगर है, मुझे लग रहा है आपका है, तो अगर
I'm
है
not
तो
a communist. I'm actually a right, मतलब centrist here.
no, there's no harm in being communist, but you keep it to your heart, even if you are. But it's good if you are not. But because this government particularly is not for communism, right? It's for Hindu scriptures. It is for tradition, history, ancient greatness. तो वो सबको आपको belittle नहीं करना चाहिए. Law of karma is given by Bhagwan Krishna, and you say, I don't believe in law of karma. Then it will go against what Bhagavad Gita says, right?
Yes, sir.
So there is some truth in all that they have said, and you will realize it after 10, 12 years, 15 years. You will yourself realize, but later. Now, just think about this. If you have any other questions, you can ask.
Okay. So that sort of confrontation in the attitude, for example, like how, like what was your final opinion on me after that actually? Like you said earlier that it could be 200 plus also, but like what would be the final?
Now I have given you 190, 200, but actually, if I was the chairman of the board, I would have given you 180.
Because of that. And if that had not happened, you would have given me 200 plus.
210, 205.
Okay, sir.
So it makes a big difference.
So you studied in Bihar.
Yes, sir. I have stayed actually in 3 states while studying. No, my primary education was in Kusinagar district. I used to stay with my Mamaji, maternal uncle. And then I moved to Manipur for my middle school education with him, sir, because he was principal in Kendriya Vidyalaya. And after that, I came back to my parents, sir, in Bihar. So the class 11th and 12th was in Bihar, sir, mostly. And after that, I was in Delhi.
Why did your Mamaji take care of you? Because of Indian society. No Mamaji in Western society will take care of his baby.
Yes, sir, that is true.
भांजा की मामाई, that happens only in India.
Yes, sir, it does.
ठीक है.
All the best.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'll take these things into account.
You can take it.